Story time. Why I learned I was getting divorced when I was 20 weeks pregnant with my third child. This man has not touched me in over a year.
What is one piece of advice you have for marriage?
Skip it.
One reason to not get married?
To stay happy.
Men are diabolical, and thus I will never, ever, 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 ever condemn women for telling other women how diabolical men are. You will never hear that shit come out of my mouth. Like, why y'all gotta say that about men? And da-da-da-da-da. Like, men are diabolical. Men are diabolical. I got y'all back. I got women's back all day long when it comes to what they would call gossiping or whatever. We need to teach the art of gossiping. If anything, we need to teach more women to gossip more often about men, because the things the things that you hear women say about men, and you will only get these stories from women. Men will never tell these stories. Men will never tell these stories. I did a video yesterday. I did two videos, a two-parter. But if you listen to the man describe why him and his fiance of 2 years, but his girlfriend of 8 years, so 10 years total, never married her, had 2 kids, called her his future, but still wasn't married to her after 10 fucking years. Anyways, if you listen to him describe why their relationship ended, he had no explanation for it. It was just like, she's just making bad choices. She just made some bad choices. She just made some bad choices. That's all it was, right? And I'm like, okay, I mean, bad choices happen, but what did you do? Right? You had nothing to do with it? That's all I kept asking. And then, that's what he's doing. He does like 3 or 4 videos, and he just like never takes any accountability, whatever. And then his fiance comes in with the receipts and just fucking dunks on him. And that's when you hear the truth. That's when you hear the real story. You will only hear the story. You will only hear about the depravity that exists within men from a woman. You will never hear about it from a man. Ever. You almost can't hear about it from a man, because a person in general can't really articulate how much they've hurt another person. You know what I mean? Like, so even just from that perspective alone, men can't tell the story, but we can't tell. You will never hear from a man, because we will never tell that story. We refuse to self-reflect. Refuse. But what we're going to get into is why women shouldn't get married, right? This is not me telling women not to get married, but this is other women telling women not to get married. And then stories or a story of why women shouldn't get married. Like, I can't make a strong, coherent case for women to marry men. I cannot. I can for men. I can make the most compelling case for men marrying women. I can make zero case for women marrying men.
What is one piece of advice you have for marriage?
Skip it.
That's rude. Mom, what's one piece of advice you have for marriage? Mom, why are you sitting at attention? Relax.
Don't be deaf, dumb, and blind like me. In other words,
I think they got it.
avoid.
Okay, all right. Same advice. What are 3 reasons to get married, Auntie? 1.
I can't think of any.
I can.
Okay, ready?
I can. So, somebody to make you a cup of tea.
1.
Somebody to drive you. And somebody to take out the garbage.
Hold on, wait. Men not even that nice. Men not even making women tea. Like, let's be. We'll drive, right? Because we like to control things. And we'll take out the garbage because that's the easiest job to do in the house. But we're not really that kind. Most men ain't making tea for their women.
Quite frankly, it sounds like you just need an Uber driver and Seamless. But that's
And
fine.
if you're lucky, he'll jump into the garbage can.
Okay. Okay, we want them to get married. Okay, one reason to not get married.
To stay happy.
Just pretend we're switching these answers. Do you have one reason to not get married?
To not get married. No, I think it's a good experience.
Yeah. That's like a glowing endorsement.
Try
from
and
this
keep it short and sweet, though.
The marriage? What is the best thing about marriage?
Divorce.
You covered it already. Oh my god, I can't put that in this video. What is the worst thing about marriage?
Marriage.
Okay, we're done. What is your true advice about marriage? Should someone like find themselves married?
Be ready for a rocky,
Oh my god.
terrifying ride
Oh my God.
into hell.
It's called a roller coaster.
Oh.
Roller coaster.
Roller coaster. Marriage is a roller coaster.
It is.
And mostly
Relax.
downhill.
Okay, just stop. Get out. Get out. You're done. You're done. What is
First of all, we love Auntie because Auntie is spitting facts, man. Do not do that woman like that. She ain't did nothing but tell her truth. And I'm a man, and this is what I be saying. And I get it. I get it. I do. I've been already clocked why men don't like me. I already know why. But man, whatever you want to call it. Once you see the truth, once you've been pink pilled, whatever you want to say, that shit is funny because it's true. It's true. Marriage is a roller coaster because of men. Because at first men start off and we're good and we're happy and we're pleasant and we don't have much control and she's not that attached to us and everything is free and loose. And then she starts to depend on us. We start to sink our hooks in. We start to have babies. We get a mortgage. Whatever. Our lives become more and more intertwined. And we start to reveal more and more of ourselves, who we really are, the surly side of us, right? The discontent, the distance, the disconnect, all of that stuff. You start to see that more and more and more and more. And why it's a roller coaster is now that's on the descension. Now you're descending. Then we get checked and we correct somewhat and we ascend. But then we go right back into our old ways and then we descend and we go back further. And you guys have heard me talk about this. And that's usually what it is. It's like we start off here, we descend, we get stopped. And then we go, oh, okay. Oh, no. Then we go even further down and go, okay. And then we go, oh, we're going to lose her. We got to keep her trapped all the way. Then we go, that's the roller coaster. That's the roller coaster. And some of us go high and some of us go low. And then we skyrocket. Something good happens in our lives. We get a great job. We move out. You know what I'm saying? Life is really good for like 2 or 3 years and then we cheat. You know what I'm saying? Or life is good for like 2 or 3 years. Then she has a baby and then we stop helping out with the kids. Like it's always something. But there's no two ways about it. Men are the reason why relationships have violent swings, wild swings. It's because of our behavior and our attitudes and what we do. I mean, yeah, our behavior. But yeah, so that's what it is. And this is the type of stuff that I only hear from women. There is not who the F did I marry, right? That type of series, only women can do that. Like there's only, you know what I mean? Like I'm being hyperbolic when I say only women, but I'm kind of closer to the fact than not, right? Like the reason why there's not that many who the fuck did I marry or any, I've never seen a who the fuck did I marry, male to female edition, right? Man to woman. I have yet to see one. I'm not even joking. And it's crazy because I'm in this space, Like, I would see it. If anybody would see it, I would see it. That's what I'm saying. If anybody would see, oh, who the fuck did I marry from a man, it would be me. And I haven't seen one yet, right? Not and I will say not one where the story made sense, not one where it all added up. Like when the women tell the stories, it all adds up. I'm like, oh, yep. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like it all connects. When the men tell the story, I'm always left wondering, like, well, what did you do? What did you promise that woman to make her act that way? What did you like? You know what I'm saying? Like, rarely is it just like you meet a woman, everything's great, and then no mental health, no nothing medical. She was just a whole different person under. Like, that's not common. It's just not common. But it is men are commonly that person. The only thing is with men is how much different are we than our representative, right? This is our representative. The woman just doesn't know how much different we are from our representative. But in a lot of cases, we're completely different, like this one.
Story time. Why I learned I was getting divorced when I was 20 weeks pregnant with my third child. The short version is that I never should have gotten married. It was a courthouse situation. I didn't want to. Within a couple of months, I was already saying, can we get an annulment? Can we get divorced now? He begged me to stick it out, so we did. We had twins in 2017, and this is after I had gone through a big health transformation and lost a lot of weight. Fast forward to 2019. The twins are 2 years old. This man has not touched me in over a year. And I say, we need therapy or a divorce. I can do this no more. Side note, do you know how hard it is to beg to be touched when you have no physical attraction to this person? Because I didn't know people cheat so readily. I'm naive. I didn't know. I wasn't exactly super attracted to that physique. So we start going to therapy, which I had to set up. And this is the end of 2019. And in the course of this therapy, he brings up he wants to have another child. And I chortle. I don't mean to. I respond. I'm like, look, I'm sorry. I apologize. You know that in order to have a child, you're going to have to touch me. Now, we had a therapist specializing in schmegs therapy. So we were already meeting someone there because I was like, I cannot go this many years like this. It was already infrequent and not great before, and now it's zero. I can't live this existence. So you know how they do. They start making the changes, say that they're gonna do what they need to. You agree. There's some contact, okay? Although I will go into some of the details maybe another time. And by details, I mean, this is not good. It is Handmaid's Tale-esque, which was one of the major topics in therapy. I said, you cannot do that to me again. It was horribly traumatic. So eventually I end up pregnant July of 2020, right? Just after all the COVID stuff, we don't really know what we're in for at that point. Europe, yes, the US was starting to take off. We didn't really know. And then in November, after not touching me again because could hurt the baby, that was his excuse, he said, we're getting a divorce. I had said I wanted a divorce before I was pregnant. Why did I agree? But then this man would not leave the house, and we cohabitated for the remainder of my pregnancy. I gave birth at home birth, cohabitated for a whole 2 years. He wouldn't leave. Then, through the divorce process, you have financial discovery, which I guess everyone knows that except me. I didn't know. And in the financial discovery, I learned that he had spent over $150,000 on Smegs workers. And all of a sudden, I understood why this man wouldn't touch me. You had a living, breathing, in the home person. A lot of his was digital, but not all. There were transportation fees to and from local hotels for his purchases, his partners, whatever those are. Any further questions? I really wish my mother had gone into greater detail about the importance of your intimate life, because that was a red flag from the beginning, pre-marriage red flag. And I didn't know just how important or what problems would look like. Me now, that is priority number one.
So she just said that she wished her mother had gone into greater detail or went into detail about, like intimacy with her, right? And parents need to be better at that for sure. I'm not gonna talk about that with, how I talk about it with my child, but definitely you need to talk about it with your child and do it earlier. The earlier, the better. You just have to dumb it down for them, or however you want to say it. Go to, get on their level and talk about it, and then, slowly grow with them. But also to what I was saying before, why women need a network of women to like give information. That's why it's important. It's important to hear these stories. It's important for women to tell the tales of, what men are doing behind the scenes and, things of that nature, because women don't know. Women go into these situations blind because the world doesn't teach women that men are terrible. The world doesn't teach women. And when I say the world, because the world is controlled by men. So why would men tell women that men are terrible? Right? They tell women, oh, it's not all men. You just need to find you a romantic man. They say romance is real. They say love is real. They say that's how we indoctrinate little girls into when they grow up to be grown women, and they don't know any better. And then we're doing the complete opposite with little boys. We're conditioning our little boys to be monsters. We're conditioning girls to be Princess Peach. And well, Princess Peach is tough in the movie, but in the original Mario, Princess Peach is the quintessential princess, right? She's the damsel in distress. We're coaching our girls to be damsels in distress, but we're not conditioning the boys to be white knights, to go rescue them. We're not. We are like teaching our boys to be like monsters in disguise, like Beauty and the Beast, but in reverse, where like you look like a human, but really you're a beast. Like you present like a human. What's his name? What's the I'm getting all my princes mixed up. I'm not that good with the lore, but what's the name of that movie? Oh my God, with Olaf and the Frozen. Like the bad prince in Frozen. That's pretty much how men are conditioned to be. Like most men are not like Kristoff or whatever, right? I think that was his name. Most men are not like Kristoff. Most men are like Anna's boyfriend. I'm hoping I'm getting these names right, y'all. I know y'all gonna fry me in the comments if I'm not. But yeah, most men are like that guy. And we're not teaching little girls that. So when they become young women and they become women, they are in harm's way. And we do that on purpose. Like, imagine if lions could raise gazelle, right? Imagine if lions could raise gazelle to be easy prey for lions. Essentially, that's what I'm saying. That's pretty much how men raise little girls. We raise little girls to grow up and be easy prey for men. That's how that woman fell into that trap. That's how women get trapped all the time. And that's why women need more, we need more stories of women like telling their stories and stuff like that. That's why women like that shit. Because they're like, oh my God, I had no idea. And they're looking out for it now. And that's why men hate it. Men don't like that. Men don't like to be exposed. Men don't want to hear about the bad men. Men want you to focus on the 7 good men in the world, not the 4.5 billion terrible men in the world. They want you to focus on the 8 good guys that they don't belong to. But then when they describe what a good guy is, it conveniently, like, oh, a man that's like 5'8", 220 pounds, makes about 50 grand a year, receding hairline, showers some days. That's a good man because he comes home at night. He comes home every night. That's a good man. It's like, it's always like that. Also, what the fuck? That was crazy. That's another example of how only men trap women with babies. That man was trying to trap that woman with a baby. He needed to stay in that house so that he can live that double life. He needed her for a roommate. He needed her to help support his habit. He spent $150,000 in their relationship. Sounded like over the course of like 5 years-ish, somewhere around there, 4 or 5 years. That's a lot of fucking money. It's a lot of money. That's like $30,000 a year, $40,000 a year. It's a lot. I mean, that's net. That's not gross, $40,000 a year. That's net $40,000 a year. So that's like gross 65 grand. He had to make 65 grand. So he had to be making a lot of money to be able to absorb that. And he wasn't making a lot of money. So he needed her to be his roommate. And he knew the way to get her to stay was to impregnate her. And that's what he did. So he impregnated her. And that's what men do to women. They impregnate women to control them, to keep them trapped, to use them as roommates, use their labor, their money, stay on their health insurance, whatever it is. That's what they do. Oftentimes, that's what men are doing. I think most men try to trap women with babies. I think most men do. The reason why I say that is because if most men actually want it, the reason why I don't think most men actually want kids. I think they want a lineage. They want to be able, because most men will never actually make an imprint on the world because they have no desire to, because to do so, you have to actually be selfless and, and be a decent person for the most part. I'm saying if you want to make a positive impact. So most men choose, the quick and easy route is just to have a kid. Have a kid, and that's your, now your lineage lives on, right? But you don't really want a child. And the reason why I say that is because, or that is reflected in the behaviors of men once we have children. If we wanted children, wouldn't we treat children differently? Wouldn't we show up for our kids more? Would we abandon children at the rate that we do? Would we abuse them at the rate that we do? No. So that's my proof that most men don't want kids is how we treat them once they get here. That's my proof. Now, if you can make a strong case against me, I would love to hear it. You can make a video on it. You could email me if you're a man and you want to debate me on that. I'm all for that. But I think most men don't want kids. They want a lineage. They want to make their mark. Right? And that's why they call kids their legacy. We always laugh and say children can't be your legacy, right? And we always say they don't know the meaning of the word legacy, and they don't for the most part. But the idea of what a legacy is, I think they know, and they actually do think of their kids as a legacy because they see their kids as property. They do see their kids. They don't see their kids as humans. They see their children as property. They don't see them as autonomous human beings. Same way they don't see women as autonomous human beings. And that's why it's easy for them to abandon both mother and child. And again, I don't hear these stories coming from men. I don't hear these stories coming from men. Where are they? All the men that get online and argue with me, and like especially the ones that be talking about they have their custody of their child. Why don't y'all make the "Who the fuck did I marry" videos? Where are they? I want to see them. That's my challenge to all the men who act like try to gaslight women and act like what women is saying doesn't make sense or whatever. I want y'all, if you can y'all make the "Who the fuck did I marry? Who the fuck did I impregnate?" whatever. Can y'all make those videos? I want to listen to them. I want to hear your side of the story. I'm here. I'm all ears.